Hi guys, Jimmy here, and today I've got an interesting Amiga Seamaster 300 to show you. Just looks like a regular Seamaster with a skeleton hands, well worn, scuffed all over, plenty of scratches and scuffs. Crystal seems to be pretty good. It's got a couple of little nicks along the edge you can feel with your fingernail. Bezel insert is surprisingly good. The interesting thing about this watch is that it has a military provenance. It was made in small batches for the Australian SAS, so that's the Special Air Service Regiment. And the way you can tell is by the case back. Some of you guys would have seen this watch on my Instagram. Sort of hard to pick up, but the banner there says "Who Dares Wins," which is their motto. Around the edge there you can see it says "Happy Wanderer." That's their marching song. Bit of a serial number at the top there. So yeah, you got this. Yeah, you got the map of Australia with the dagger with wings, and yeah, "Who dares wins." So pretty ballsy motto. Who dares wins. Sometimes who dares dies. So not the greatest thing, but yeah. I do have the information of who this watch belonged to and a bit of history on it, but it's sort of sensitive, so yeah, I'm not going to sort of discuss it. I guess yeah, it's not the right thing to discuss. It's more about the watch anyway. That they were making these in yeah, so I don't know what the batch size was, but I've heard that Rolex was approached to do the batches. They declined, and Amiga was very happy to do so. So they made these beautiful case backs. I've researched them a bit to see who else had them. There is one fairly famous Australian SAS soldier. His name's Ben Robert Smith. He did some pretty heroic things. But at the same time, over the last year or so, they've been trying to get them on war crimes or something. I'm not going to go into those politics. I don't follow that shit. But I know these guys are fearless and very highly trained. One of the hardest training in the world to pass. Very small pass rate. So these guys are real machines, and it's pretty cool that this was on the wrist of one of those guys. And as much as it is very cool, it's just not a watch that's ever been the type that I would necessarily wear. I've worn it a little bit. It's just when you get used to wearing the Rolex Submariner, you get used to the bezel action and just the way it looks. It's not a bad looking watch. I don't care for the bracelet design though, but the skeleton hands, I'd rather just be filled in hands, not this skeleton stuff. On a dive watch. But anyway, bezel's very hard to operate. It's hard to grip. Anyway, I won't. Yeah, by the time I try to get it around once, it's going to take forever. So that's that. It's not like it was officially part of their kit. It was offered to these guys. So, can't say whether they wore it in combat or anything, but he definitely wore it a lot. I'm not going to claim any of that. I don't know. All I can show you is I used to have quite a large military watch collection. I even had I had a Luftwaffe's chronograph, a hand harp, single pusher chronograph from, it was an early one. I think it was 1939. That was, really nice watch. Had the original leather Luftwaffe strap on it as well. And what else did I have? Czech Republic Longines pilot watch from 1938. That was really nice. I still know where that watch is. I can buy it back. I maybe shouldn't have sold it, but they're not worth big money, those ones. The Luftwaffe watches like that are made by Alon and Son and IWC and stuff. They're they're fetching decent money. But the chronograph version I had, because it's just hand heart, and yeah, they're not, maybe sort of $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. I think I paid about 5 or 6 for it. So you can get good military stuff out there. That's not necessarily this really small stuff like this, wearable size, not this kind of little stuff, for decent money. Whereas these, yeah, sort of that. I haven't even kept an eye on this kind of stuff. These, this is World War II as well. So I think it was this one's 1944. So alloy case with the fixed bars. Yeah, like a navigator's watch. These you pick up for a couple grand, but they're tiny. Yeah, probably 32, 33 millimeters. Haven't measured it actually. Somewhere around there. I got one of the Dirty Dozen here in the Timor. So obviously, if you've got a JLC version, you're going to pay, you know, probably between that 10 and 14,000, maybe more. I haven't really kept an eye on them lately, but in these kind of versions, you're sort of in that 2 or 3 grand range because the brand is not the desirable one. But nonetheless, super cool. Love the really burnt out radium in this dial. But yeah, then we've got something more modern, you know. Who knows what this could do in the future, if it's going to be highly sought after or collectible. Or right now, they're kind of so, I don't know if rare is the word, or just no one has a lot of information. You do see, if you look up, you know, these Omega, I think I can't remember if they were Planet Oceans, or I'm not really familiar with all Omegas, but I know the British SAS, they did Rolex versions and Omegas with this similar kind of thing for them, and there is a bit of information on them, but the Australian ones, there's pretty much nothing, close to nothing on them. Like I said, I've found a few photos of Ben Roberts-Smith with what looks to be this exact watch, not this one, but the same model, same reference, which I believe is the same like this. And this belonged to a guy from the same era, which is cool. But it's kind of left field for my collection. I bought it because of, you know, it was interesting for this reason, you know, because of the military provenance. But apart from that, yeah, I was collecting military stuff a few years ago, and I sort of went away from it. I'd still like to, but the stuff you know, like so many of us, would love to have a mil sub or something like that. They're impossible to find now. Obviously, they're all, you know, locked up in collections, and when they do let them go, they go to auction and they get, you know, huge results. So this is cool for what it is. And of course, it's a real sleeper, because when you're wearing it, it just looks like another average scratched up Omega Seamaster. But yeah, only you know that this is on your wrist. Would have been awesome to get it with a full set, with, you know, with that kind of stuff, which I didn't get it with. And I was thinking of going through the Omega archives, seeing if they'll, yeah, give me an archive paper on it. It might be too modern for them to give me one. I'm not sure. What I might do, I haven't done any of that yet. I might do that on some of my older Omegas, and then apply for this one and see how I go. That way I can find out, you know, who it was sold to, if it was sold, you know, directly to the owner that I know had it, or yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the Australian Defence Force did it, or I don't know. But anyway, interesting. And for you guys that have stuck around listening to me ramble on for, you know, nearly 10 minutes, I was going to quickly show you what I picked up a week ago. Yeah, guess what? It's another Rolex, but this one is a birthday present for my daughter for her 21st birthday. So I didn't want to make a video about it, because she'll know. She might find out, so I'll just put it in the end of the video. And just give you just a quick sneak peek. A lot of people are divided on this watch. But now that I've got in person, I'm glad I got it for for a young 21-year-old lady. It's pretty damn cool. So it's the palm motif, dial, yeah. Rolex date just in the 36mm with the tube and the white gold bezel, which is the nicest combination. And you can see when you want the light to hit it, it's quite, you know, pronounced and stands out nicely. And then just normally it's quite subtle. Yeah, I can't wait to gift this to her. I have to wait another couple months, but yeah, I've got to wipe that up. Yeah, I got home with it and I quickly went and hid it. So yeah, so I thought I'll just show that at the end of the video. We'll look at that more once once my wife and I have gifted that to her. Until then, we'll put that back in the box. And that's all, guys. That is all for today. Hope I didn't ramble on for too long. But yeah, it is an interesting piece. It's pretty cool. But I don't wear it, so I don't know how long I'll keep it for. For now, half the time I forget that I even own it. So maybe it'll just stay in the back of the safe. But anyway, that's all, guys. Take it easy. Have a great day. Bye bye.